Kashi, or as we know it today, Varanasi, has been at the center of our culture and civilization since many millennia. However, over the last 7 years, the ancient city has been at the center of developmental works to the time of several thousand crores. Over the years, close to 170 projects have already been inaugurated and made the lives of Kashi residents considerably easier. The development of the Kashi Vishwanath corridor, however, has been the centerpiece in Varanasi's journey to become a smart city. The Kashi Vishwanath corridor will be a state-of-the-art boulevard that will connect the Manikarnika Ghat and Lalita Ghat directly to the wonderful Kashi Vishwanath temple. The road is said to be approximately 50 feet wide to allow easy movement for the millions of pilgrims and tourists that visit Kashi every year. With an estimated cost of over Rs 800 crore, the corridor will not just be any other road, it will feature a museum and auditorium depicting Kashi's history, several resting areas for pilgrims, and a multitude of accommodation options. But that's not all. For the redevelopment project, materials are being taken to Kashi from across the country. Red sandstone from Chunar, Baleshwar stones from South India, Makrana marble, Kota granite, and Mandana stones will now adorn different parts and buildings on the corridor. All possible amenities, from toilets all the way to a library and a meditation platform, have been planned to provide every comfort imaginable to the visitors that make their way to Kashi. And this mammoth effort seems to be the long-awaited upgradation, one of the most iconic part of the city's culture, the Sri Vishwanath Ji Jyotirlinga. The Kashi Vishwanath Corridor project isn't just dedicated to widening the roads that connects the temples to the ghats. It is also a befitting homage to the city's centuries-old legacy. That has been one of the key characteristics of a government with Narendra Modi at its helm, not just preserving but promoting our culture. Take for example the heads of foreign states who have visited cultural sites over the years. Like the Australian Prime Minister's visit to Akshardham in New Delhi, the South Korean President's visit to the Swaminarayan Temple in Delhi, the visit of the Prime Ministers of Japan and Israel, and the President of France to Varanasi. With each of these countries, India now shares an exceptionally friendly diplomatic relationship. Would this have been possible if our culture continued to be sidelined and isolated? Prime Minister Modi himself also makes it a point to visit important sites associated with our culture on his visits abroad. Be it the Jeshwareshwari Kali Temple in Bangladesh, Shiva Temple in Oman, the Pashupatinath Temple in Nepal, or the Vancouver Gurudwara in Canada. But that's not all. This idea seems from his tenure as head of the state government in Gujarat. Chief Minister Modi actually wanted the world to feel the vibrancy of the Gujarati culture. The investment summit, called Vibrant Gujarat, started in 2003, was always accompanied with magnificent exhibitions on the geographical and cultural brilliance of the state. Similarly, the Patang Mahotsav or Kite Festival was also held on Makar Sankranti to coincide with the summit. The invitations were sent out to foreign kite flyers as well. Today it is known as the International Kite Festival of Gujarat. How the Ran Utsav became an international phenomenon, with hundreds of foreign nationals making their way to Kutch each year and invariably taking back a piece of the wonderful Gujarati culture with them, is of course due to the consistent efforts by Narendra Modi as the Chief Minister. The National Mission on Pilgrimage Rejuvenation and Spiritual Augmentation Drive is another example of the Prime Minister's dedication to showcase the best of India's culture in the most beautiful of ways. The Prasad scheme not only focuses on rejuvenating spiritual centers, but it also endeavors to make these cities hubs for tourism and allows them to play an important part in economic growth and employment generation. The scheme includes cities like Ajmer in the west, Kamakhya in the east, Katra in the north, Omkareshwar in center, and Guruvayur to the south of the country. It was under Prime Minister Modi's leadership that the Archaeological Survey of India has been supporting restorative work in countries like Cambodia, Vietnam, Laos, People's Democratic Republic, and Myanmar. And only under his leadership has it been possible that India has retrieved not just 3 or 4, but around 44 stolen relics from nations like the United States of America, Australia, Singapore, Germany, Canada, and the United Kingdom. The return of over 100 more relics is being finalized. Today, the Ran Utsav still continues to be one of the most celebrated events in Kutch, with thousands waiting for chance to visit when the pandemic subsides. In the same regard, the Kashi Vishwanath corridor will continue to draw pilgrims and tourists alike for many years because it is a definitive step towards not just infrastructural but cultural rejuvenation. This has also been a definitive trait of Prime Minister Modi's leadership style. It is never about momentary glory or fleeting celebrations. His administration's efforts made towards development often reverberate across several governments and at least a few generations. Keep watching New India Junction for more insightful videos. Dhanyavad and Namaste.